Airplane crash on fire. Little man can't get out. These chilling words uttered by a 2-year-old sent shivers down the spines of Bruce and Andrea Leininger. Their son James had begun having vivid nightmares, waking up in tears, screaming about a plane crash. These weren't the usual childhood fears. James seemed haunted by a past he could not possibly remember. He spoke of airplanes with an unnerving familiarity, using terms like drop tank and fuselage, words beyond the comprehension of a child his age. His fascination with airplanes, particularly warplanes of World War II, became an obsession. His parents, initially attributing it to an overactive imagination fueled by toy airplanes, found themselves increasingly disturbed. Their son's knowledge of World War II aircraft, the intricate details he could recount, was beyond anything he could have learned from books or television at that age. James's nightmares became more frequent and intense, his small body thrashing about in his sleep, his cries filled with terror. He would wake up drenched in sweat, his eyes wide with a fear that seemed to stem from a memory deeply embedded within him. One recurring nightmare, in particular, was particularly disturbing. James would vividly describe a violent plane crash. He spoke of being trapped in the burning wreckage, the searing heat, and the overwhelming smell of smoke. He cried out a name, James Houston, over and over again, as if desperately trying to hold on to a fading memory. Bruce, desperate to understand his son's torment, began researching World War II plane crashes. During one such search, he stumbled upon the story of the USS Natoma Bay, an aircraft carrier that served in the Pacific Theater. The details of the Natoma Bay's history sent chills down his spine. On March 3, 1945, a young pilot named James Houston Jr. took off from the Natoma Bay on a mission near Iwo Jima. His plane, a FM-2 Wildcat, was hit by enemy fire and crashed into the sea, claiming the young pilot's life. As Bruce delved deeper into James Houston's story, he discovered startling parallels with his son's nightmares and pronouncements. The details James had been recounting, the type of plane, the way it crashed, even the name James Houston, aligned eerily with the historical account. This was no longer a matter of an overactive imagination, this was something far more profound. Bruce decided to confront the situation head-on. He showed James a picture of the USS Natoma Bay. To his astonishment, James immediately recognized it. "That's my boat," he exclaimed, pointing to the ship in the photograph. "That's where I took off from." He then pointed to a group of men in the picture. "Those are my friends," he said. "But they wouldn't listen to me. I told them not to go flying that day." Bruce was taken aback. His son's words were filled with a conviction that sent shivers down his spine. Section 4. Corroborating the Past. Bruce continued his research, driven by a desire to understand what his son was experiencing. He managed to track down some of the surviving crew members of the USS Natoma Bay. He spoke with men who had known and flown with James Houston. These veterans confirmed details that James had revealed, details not documented in any official records. For instance, James had mentioned a friend named Jack Larson. He said Jack had flown a plane with a distinctive feature, a bent propeller. Indeed, Jack Larson was a real pilot on the Natoma Bay, and he did fly a plane with a bent propeller, a detail not recorded in official records but confirmed by Larson himself. The evidence was mounting, painting a compelling, albeit unsettling picture. James Leininger, a young boy from Louisiana, seemed to hold the memories, the experiences, perhaps even the soul of James Houston, a World War II pilot who met an untimely end on a distant battlefield. Section 5. Meeting the Family. The story took an even more emotional turn when Bruce managed to connect with James Houston's surviving family. They arranged a meeting, a poignant encounter between a grieving family and a young boy who claimed to be their lost loved one reborn. James, upon meeting Houston's sister Anne, ran to her and hugged her tightly. He told her things that only she and James Houston could have known, shared memories and inside jokes that left Anne in tears. The meeting was filled with a mixture of joy, sorrow, and disbelief. James was able to provide a level of closure to a family still grappling with a loss from decades past. He answered questions about James Houston's final moments, details that brought both comfort and renewed grief. For Anne, it was a bittersweet reunion, a chance to connect with a brother she thought she had lost forever, even if it was through the eyes of a child. Section 6. Reincarnation or rational explanation. The Leininger case, while compelling, is not without its skeptics. Some argue that James's memories could be explained by other means, such as cryptomnesia or fantasy-prone personality. Cryptomnesia, also known as hidden memory, suggests that James may have subconsciously absorbed information about James Houston from overheard conversations or glimpses of documentaries, later reconstructing these fragments as his own memories. The fantasy-prone personality theory posits that James, perhaps due to a predisposition coupled with his parents' attention and encouragement, developed an elaborate fantasy world around the historical information he had gathered. However, proponents of reincarnation argue that these explanations fall short. The sheer volume and specificity of James's memories, his emotional connection to the identity of James Houston, and the corroborated details that he could not have known through conventional means lend credence to the reincarnation hypothesis. They argue that the human mind, especially at such a young age, is not equipped to fabricate such intricate and emotionally charged narratives. Section 7. Life, Death, and Beyond. The story of James Leininger transcends a simple debate between skeptics and believers. It forces us to confront fundamental questions about life, death, and the nature of consciousness. Could our consciousness, our sense of self, exist independently of our physical bodies, capable of surviving the demise of our mortal shells and finding new life in another form? James's case, along with numerous others documented by researchers around the world, challenges our conventional understanding of life and death, urging us to consider the possibility that we are more than just flesh and bone. It invites us to ponder the vast, uncharted territories of human consciousness and the mysteries that lie beyond the realm of our current scientific understanding. Do you believe James Leininger is living proof of reincarnation, or is there a scientific explanation? Let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe for more chilling mysteries and real-life paranormal investigations.